What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 79, the Harvey Martin episode of the 214 Sports Show. So glad you could join us yet again this week for an excellent edition of our podcast. As always, I'm Joseph Duffy, joined alongside my wonderful co-host, TJ Krilowicz. TJ, how you doing this fine evening?
Doing great, Joe. It's a pleasure to be joined alongside you again in episode 79. 21 more episodes till episode 100, and then we don't know who to dedicate our episodes to.
Yeah, from that, we're going to switch up the game plan once it gets to triple digits. I don't know what's going to happen, but Harvey Martin, the namesake of this episode, part of the Doomsday Cowboys defenses of the 70s, played with Dallas from 1973 to 1983, a former DPOY back in 1977. He went to East Texas State, which is now, I believe, East Texas A&M. Yeah, they changed their name probably like, 2 decades ago, I bet. But he's, Dallas born and bred, went to South Oak Cliff. So SOC, stand up if you're listening to this podcast. But sadly passed on in '01 at the age of 51, but still a Cowboys legend, part of that great defense in the 70s. And so he's the namesake of episode 79. We're going to start off by talking about the Texas Rangers. Some clutch victories since the last time we've talked about the Rangers, but another disappointing series against the Mariners all as well. So losing 3 of 4 in Seattle kind of stings. And we've seen it yet again with this Texas Rangers lineup not producing and even the bullpen not closing the door when it matters the most, i.e. Robert Garcia, getting a walk-off home run hit by him against J.P. Crawford in the end of that series, or second to last game of that series, after leading 3-2. So how do you evaluate this team, TJ? Just a general question here in this last week of action that is still very much in the wild card race. And as the Yankees are dipping, the Texas Rangers are rising.
I mean, you mentioned Robert Garcia, and you didn't even mention Wednesday's game against the New York Yankees, and giving up the home run to Paul Goldschmidt to give the Yankees the win. Um, it's yeah, I mean this is Will Smith types of levels of closing that we used to experience of, a specific individual that just would not for for the life of them not be able to record a save. We're starting to get that with Robert Garcia, which is concerning, and that definitely helps out why we got on our deadline deals with our the guy from the Twins. That's a huge pickup for the Rangers, especially again since Garcia's starting to struggle in. Um, but something's got to get here. I'm trying to think of the three losses to Seattle. I mean, you lost by 1 run on Sunday. You lost by a walk-off home run one time. You basically lost every single game. I think you lost. Well, you lost at least two of the three games by 1 run, and you lose the one game that you lost to the Yankees by 1 run. Something's gotta happen here. I think we're at a 70 plus one run differential in the season, and we're only 4 games above 500. There's something that's going on that we're not able. It seems like we're not, it doesn't seem like we're that bad in the clutch. It seems like we're getting some pretty good, like walk-off moments this season. Had a lot of heroic moments so far. We just keep losing one-run games though. There's something that's gotta click here that, I don't know if it's the bullpen's fault. I don't know if it's the batting's fault. I think that it's a collective issue, but there's something that's gotta be figured out here.
And I don't know what Bruce Bochy's going to do in terms of this late bullpen action because, you look at Coulomb, who did an excellent job against the Yankees in the extra innings matchup. But Robert Garcia, man, it's been a little iffy the past, month and so. Um, I see that Mariners game. He's given up so many home runs in these past few appearances. I believe it's 3 homers now in his last 3 appearances, amassing like probably 2 innings pitched total. He's been struggling in the past few games. You saw it again, giving up that game-winning home run, what ended up being the game-winning home run against Goldschmidt to give the Yankees the lead and ultimately not get swept. That's a game that you could have won, and you don't want to put it all on him because guess what? The offense once again scored 2 runs as they did the night before, right? Tellez was the hero of that game with the shutout, 2-0. But man, like you have games right there that you just cannot afford to give up the long ball. And you see it again with Robert Garcia. But I do want to shout out that at bat by Rowdy Tellez, 10 pitch at bat, to give the Rangers the lead. The two-run RBI just came out of nowhere, honestly. I didn't know he was going to put up that big of a fight. And Devin Williams was struggling leading into this whole series and had back-to-back nights where, he gives up these game-winning shots. And then you have guys like, say, Jock Peterson, who are finally starting to get hot. Finally, since that picture that went viral a few weeks ago, was it in? Let me see. It was in Anaheim, yeah. And the fact I saw this tweet on Rangers Twitter, since that photo surfaced with him and Eric Young, former Braves base coach, now with the Angels as a base coach. Since that photo that went off around Rangers Twitter about him not possibly taking stuff seriously, he's been hitting 333, has a single and double as far as the game 2 nights ago. And he had a pinch hit, game tying home run that kept the Rangers alive, that eventually they would win with the Josh Young walk-off winner. So that's a positive sign since the last time we've had our podcast. Jock Peterson getting a little bit hot. And man, what a time to possibly get hot. He's been waiting, all the way till August as a free agent signing. But, it'd be nice if he woke up completely to what we thought we were getting from the Arizona Diamondbacks. So that's my evaluation of this team. I'm
Well,
I'm getting more hopeful for sure.
I'll tell you what, there's not been somebody that I've seen since Rutin and Odor. They get so many chances to pick up his bat.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it is insane. We have and put him in these situations that it's like I don't know if we've ever seen any team in any circumstance in August put out like a 130, 140 batting
I was
average
just about to say that. It's crazy.
hitter in these situations. I mean, we're down 1 run in the bottom of the ninth, and Bochy says the best option to go to is Jock Peterson, and he delivers this time. I mean, we're talking about losing 1 run games. Maybe it's the stupid decisions that Bochy's making. This one just ended up working out. But to your point, he is starting to wake up. I think he got on base every single at bat he had against the Yankees this series, which is huge. I mean, because we talk about the offense is struggling. We talk about, the free agents, because Jake Berger right now is, kind of getting forgotten. He's been out for a little bit. Jake Berger, Jock Peterson, both of them have been huge disappointments. If you could just get one of them to become useful, super useful, somebody who you can depend on, or I guess not depend on, but at least be somebody that we were expecting to get, then you know what? It's not too bad, Even though we found it in August when it should have been a lot earlier in the season, it's not bad. Not bad. I gotta give credit to Jock, man. Good for him to get there, man. But
Yeah,
he's had a
finally.
lot of
Yeah.
chances to get there. I'm glad he finally got it.
I also got to shout out Nathan Eovaldi yet again, masterful, 8 innings pitched, almost won a complete game, but he did the job, got his bullpen some good rest for the majority of the game. It seems like he really owns the Yankees, to be honest. I need to look up the career numbers on that, but it seems like when he plays them, he goes pretty far and is pretty efficient. Almost had a Maddox in the game. But you look at like how he's been evaluated nationally, it doesn't seem like he gets the amount of praise that he deserves. I wish he had more Cy Young hype, but he's probably not going to have the amount of innings that a lot of the AL frontrunners are going to have. So that kind of sucks for him that he was sidelined for a good amount of time. So he probably won't be a Cy Young winner. But so far, the ERA leader as it stands right now, and usually that's gone to, the Cy Young winner, gone hand in hand, I mean. So Nathan Eovaldi has just been masterful all season long. There's been a take, I don't know if you pay attention, that he's possibly, the best free agent signing that the Rangers have ever had. Is he possibly the best pitcher in Rangers history? What do you think about those two questions
I,
before we
s-
get
I
out of here?
still think that Seager's the best signing as of right now. I gotta go with Seager. I think he was a
Yeah,
bigger impact on. I mean, that's a tough one, but I think you gotta go. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's
I
still
would.
Seager. I think best pitcher in Rangers history. Very, very possible. I mean, this is 1 year, but he's had 3 very solid years in Texas. And 1 year
Mhm.
where he won the World Series and was one of the bigger parts of that World Series. I still think Seager was bigger. I'm gonna go with him.
Yeah, and like. I gotta go with Seager as well for that first question. But as far as the second one, people are saying Nolan Ryan. I don't think it's crazy to say that he's a better pitcher in Rangers history than Nolan Ryan
Mm,
because people take advantage of the fact that, Nolan Ryan had a rocky relationship with the Astros towards the end and retired in the Hall of Fame, went to Cooperstown as a Ranger. But if you look at his entire career, like his best years weren't with the Rangers. He had a no-hitter, I believe, towards the tail end, but his best years weren't as a Ranger. You look at Nathan Eovaldi's career numbers as a Ranger, I think there's an argument for sure. And honestly, I probably will take Nathan Eovaldi over Nolan Ryan as
I would
far
take you
as,
Darvish over both of them.
hey man, there was a run where Yu Darvish was putting up crazy numbers. I'd understand it. Almost a perfect game and no hitter here and there. I could see that. But this run Nathan Eovaldi has been on, it feels like it's almost a guaranteed win every time he's on the mound. Similar to how it feels to DeGrom every now and then, even though he's not won the last two starts. We have not won the
Yeah,
last two starts
he's been
that he's had. But Nathan Eovaldi, man, he is efficient. He's a workhorse. He goes the length Bruce Bochy asks him. You know he can get you, a solid 6, 7 innings. And, Nathan Eovaldi, his numbers, I know. I just caught myself. But
okay.
but
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Nathan Eovaldi has been incredible, man. What else can you say about the guy? Still, leading the league in ERA, the AL in ERA, by a good amount, the league as a whole in ERA. So, what a great start to the season he's had. I wish he can get the Cy Young, but it probably won't happen. But the
I
Rangers, yeah, go
no, I
ahead.
was gonna. I got a question for you. How do you think about Merrill Kelly?
Not the best start, but Merrill Kelly
Oh
is an
man, that
arm
sixth
down.
inning.
Yeah, not the best. Good thing the team won the game though. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, still won that game, but man, it was unbelievable to watch that sixth inning just explode. Just turn straight into a dumpster fire. Turn
Yeah.
from a Four Seasons hotel into a, you know, shady side street in New York. I don't know. It was not too good for Merrill Kelly in that sixth. It was very bad.
Oh yeah, you
But
were
the
letting me
first
know.
five he was dealing.
You were letting me know your live reactions for sure, especially that game. But yeah, I mean, Merrill Kelly, I hope he can turn around, be a little bit more efficient, not have those rocky innings. But good thing the Texas Rangers won that game. Ended up being the only game they won in that entire series, which is a shame. You were looking for at least a split, but sadly lost to the Mariners this time in Seattle yet again. Was looking forward to that series.
I don't know. You think like theoretically, and still a long ways away, the Rangers just can't seem to get into that final wild card spot. It felt like a while with them going, above 500. They had that very hard time getting just breaking through that. Now they're having a hard time breaking through getting to that final wild card spot. But if they do make the playoffs, I mean, who's this? You get that typical three pitcher rotation. I mean, is this going to be like it's got to be Evaldi and DeGrom, of course.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
Maul? Is Maul going to be back for the third position? I'm assuming. I
I
mean,
just hope he
because
has
he
enough
was
innings
dealing.
under him. Yeah, he was amazing. I just hope he has enough innings under him if he
Merrill
were to come back.
Kelly traded some decent pieces for him. I mean, he's not a bad pitcher at all. He just had a rocky inning out of a solid general overall solid performance. So, I mean, I can see why maybe Merrill Kelly gets that third spot. I still lean Molly or Maul. I still get it wrong, but
Smalley. Yeah.
Molly, still get it
Yeah,
wrong.
but I understand it completely. I mean, I'd probably go Merrill Kelly at this point just because he's been pitching the whole year without being sidelined. I hate that for old
He's got
Tyler
the
because no,
experience too,
yeah,
so
nobody expected anything from Tyler Mahle this year. But man, he's been amazing before he got the injury. I hated it for him because it's probably one of his best seasons, if not his best in his career. And it came after two Tommy Johns, and we hardly saw the guy pitch, after he was sidelined since we signed him.
hmm
But Merrill Kelly, he wouldn't be a bad third option after having Evaldi and Jacob deGrom in a wild card series, which is looking more likely, which I hope happens, but it's not guaranteed at all. I like our guys if we're in the wild card series. We should leave it at that.
hopefully we're the home team.
Yeah. We'll see.
We're the
But
home team.
yeah. We'll go with the Dallas Cowboys now. Again, last time we were here, we were talking about the Micah contract rumors, and it was pretty heartbreaking to go through another instance where Jerry Jones just looks very incompetent. Looks like he can never read the room, cannot even read the temperature of his fan base. And Micah Parsons had enough. He let people know that he might want to seek a trade, which I don't know if I'm all the way bought into that. I think that's just a leverage play, a bargaining ploy. And I understand it from his standpoint. Like, if you want to pay me my money after carrying, this defense, it's a night and day effect, basically, when I'm playing and when I'm not. I understand his viewpoint. So as far as that happened, I haven't seen anything positive since our last podcast. I don't know about you, but I saw rumors floating here and there. I don't know if it's really, you know, newsworthy stuff about him almost being on the verge of accepting a new deal. But as far as it stands, nothing has still been resolved between the Dallas Cowboys and Micah Parsons, which is very, very disturbing. And it could be a possibility that, he doesn't even play week one against Philadelphia.
Yeah, and that's going to be a real heartbreaker because I mean, you're going to play a really tough game in Philadelphia. I don't know, our luck at playing there in the last few years hasn't been the best. Obviously, they've former Super Bowl champions here. Need to have the star player, Jerry. You got to wake up, man. It's late into the training camp. We're about to have our first preseason game in a couple days against the Rams, which our scrimmage already looked rough enough against Los Angeles according to the Twitter people. But I mean, my goodness, it's just typical Cowboys, you know. You can't get the drama, the drama has to be there even before the season even starts. And I mean, we're supposed to be, the Cowboys are supposed to be the perennial team in the NFL. They're America's team, for God's sake. And we always have these issues. Why do we get these disses from the players? Why do the players want out, whenever they do leave? Why do they talk shit about us? We don't get this crap with the Lakers. The Lakers are Showtime Lakers. They're the number one most recognizable brand in the NBA. All right, and the players go there and they love it, and they love the culture there. They love the idea of playing there. It's the same with the Yankees. It's the same with the I guess the Bruins, or the Maple. I guess the Maple Leafs are actually a really good comparison of the Cowboys, but
Oh, that's a perfect comparison.
the Cowboys just got to figure that crap out. And I think we know who the main culprit is of why that's the case. And we just said his big fat name. And I mean, it's just disappointing. It's disappointing. We're never gonna get out of this cycle. I know everybody's always, making that joke about, a specific, you know, somebody not being the GM of the Cowboys anymore and the owner or whatever, but it's his son who takes over. It's not going to be anybody, that's going to have a different idea or different anything. They have obviously they're not the same person, but they definitely follow the you know, same record. So
Well, speaking of the scrimmage that you kind of hinted at between the Rams, that's going to happen before the preseason game, you hit the nail on the head. Apparently, it was a disaster, as we heard about Cowboys secondary coach David Overstreet irate at these players, especially in the Cowboys defense, not being able to contain, Devontae Adams or Tutu Atwell or Puka Nacua. I saw Kyron Williams whipped off a big one, to go all the way for a touchdown. And color me surprised, the run defense looks absolutely abysmal. I couldn't have called it. No way that we have no run defense. You're kidding me. There's no way we have no run defense.
what?
You got to be joking. No, of course, because we see Connor Williams rip off a big old breakaway down, the sidelines, putting a freaking peace sign up. I think he did. I need to look at the video again, but he basically knew he was in 10 yards out. And I feel like we're gonna see a lot of that this year if they don't make some more, interior moves, or if, somebody steps up, in the middle of the D line, because boy, I thought we could get some guys to really bolster this D line up the middle, and it's more of the same, sadly. pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean it's you can't ever get so depressed about a scrimmage, right? You
Surely, surely
can't get
not.
depressed over a scrimmage, all right? You can't there's no subtle foreshadowing that's gonna happen. Look, preseason, man, the preseason, nothing all this matters, all right? All that matters is when the games actually do matter, all right? And so
Yeah,
why do you know you're getting the bad stuff out already? Yeah, that's what's happening. You're getting the bad stuff out already. By week three, we got Micah back. The team's happy and we're ready to go take on the division because we know it's not Philadelphia winning the division. The NFC East is a spinning door or what do you call it? I mean, it's basically a spinning
cool.
carousel with
Yeah,
the top of the division. So, hey, you got a chance here. Um, I don't want to say, there's a lot of times where the Cowboys actually do, the Cowboys, there's always these over exceeding up expectations. I really do think that the team's pretty decent. I think that, when you look at the team on the paper, I think that the team does look pretty decent. If they're healthy, they can definitely be competitive. If they can re-sign Micah, hopefully the running game is better on the offense and the defensive side. You get a chance, all right? You got a chance. Nothing matters right now. All right? Nothing matters. Hey,
sure,
keep
surely
that
nothing
hope.
matters. Yeah,
Keep that hope.
I'll keep my chin up just for you,
Keep that
teacher,
hope.
just for you.
When's the
Apparently,
last
you
time they've
know,
let you down?
apparently there's
Come on.
another another few calls of flags in the red zone between offense and defense, and Schottenheimer says, and I quote, "Easy correction." So hope I trust the guy. Apparently, some people are tearing him up for the
You
backwards
said that
visor.
really eerie. I mean, making him sound like some evil mastermind. Like he's got the stroking the cat and stuff, and you know,
Yeah, easy correction.
easy
How
correction.
about Joe Milton, by the way, ripping off a 75-yard bomb? People are saying maybe he's the future. If Dak is out here soon, if his days are winding down, the former Tennessee Volunteer, the former Michigan Wolverine, Joe Milton, possibly taking over for Dak Prescott. What do you think about that?
No,
I think that's fine.
I don't know. I mean, I do like Joe Milton. I do like Joe Milton. Um, I think that we need to, maybe not shut the door so quickly on Dak. I
Yeah,
mean,
pretty
I
much.
mean, let's wait for him to have like a bad season first. I mean, it's all the bad things that he's done in the regular season is just get injured, I think, He's got some interception problems in the past, but I mean, he's I mean, he's still a good quarterback, and we're seeing Joe Milton do good in scrimmage. Talk about
Yeah,
scrimmage.
yeah.
I mean,
Not the
come
game,
on.
not the game. Talking about
It's just
scrimmage.
this false alarm, And I'm glad, maybe Joe Milton, maybe this kind of competitiveness, maybe this skill that he has brings Dak to another level. Some competitors like that. Maybe that gives Dak a new pep in his step, and if it doesn't and he gets hurt again, which is something that's very possible, or he's actually, you know, not good anymore, which I do not see happening, you got a good backup to go put in. So,
Hmm.
you know, a lot better than Cooper Rush, that's for sure. You remember when we cared, remember when we thought Cooper Rush was the truth?
Oh, no, I
I think
certainly didn't. I certainly didn't.
well,
I thought he was
we
a
were like
serviceable
what,
backup.
3-0 with him as a starter for a little bit, and then
Oh
he
yeah, he had a
messed up
solid
against
run.
Philadelphia.
Crazy, by the way. Cooper Rush now with Baltimore apparently, but it's gonna be weird not seeing him in the sidelines, getting ready to get checked in if something else happens to Dak. But
You're
Joe
such a
Milton,
typical Cowboys backup QB, like
he was
straight through the
typical.
system, always been there,
Yeah, just standing there. It's
just
weird.
standing there, always
He's been there
the yes
forever.
man.
Oh yeah. When his name is called, he'll do his best basically. But yeah, he was always there, it seemed like, and now he's gone. Now you have Joe Milton, a big old quarterback, as the backup for Dak Prescott. Don't think I'm sold to him being the future just yet, and I don't think we should shut the door yet on Dak as a Dak truther, by the way. I love my quarterback. People can hate on him all they want. but he hasn't always had the most help in the world. And I think this is a good opportunity this year for him to really have a lot of shiny new toys with him and CD and George Pickens in the past game. So I think that'll do it for this episode, episode 79, the Harvey Martin episode, Cowboys legend from the Doomsday Defense. We do remind you to, check in this podcast every Thursday morning when we post it. It'll be on YouTube and Spotify at the 214 Sports Show. Again, we post it at 11 a.m. Central Time, usually on YouTube and Spotify at the 214 Sports Show. And also, you can check us out in our reels on Instagram, also on TikTok and Twitter, where we post, some short form content of our takes, some funny moments here and there. And that should be at the 214 Sports Show as well. So Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts as well, and Twitter for those short little reels. So with that being said, TJ, do you want to give your social really quick?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you might as well, you should be called the 817 Sports Show. The fact that we only talked about the Rangers and Cowboys. Hopefully we get hopefully the real Dallas teams get
Yeah,
some action soon. But anyways,
we'll
yeah.
see.
I'm rambling. Instagram TJ.Krilowicz, Twitter TJ_Krilowicz. Follow me
And
both.
yeah, and for me, you can follow me at Joseph underscore Duffy 99 on Instagram, and also the same on Twitter at Joseph underscore DUFFEY 99. And on TikTok, you can follow at JOE underscore DUFFEY. Once again, please check out this podcast on YouTube and Spotify. We post the full thing on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. You could also find some chopped up segments that we usually do. TJ's been doing a great job on that, chopping up each sport and each team that we do usually. So you can find that also after we post the full content. But we do thank you for joining us
Just doing
again
my
for
job here. Sorry.
yeah, for episode 79, the Harvey Martin episode. Thank you for joining us. For TJ Krolowitz, I'm Joseph Duffy. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Have a good weekend.